It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
Welcome back to another BCSN preseason basketball conversation. Joining us today from Jacksonville, Florida, Coach Charmaine Wilson. Coach, how are you doing today? How's the family? How's everything going on campus with this crazy COVID situation going on?
Hi, AD. Everything's going well. Family is fine. My team is fine, thank God. The athletics department is grooving, and the EWC family is grooving as well. We're doing well.
All right, all right. You had pretty much looking back at last year, it was a tale of two seasons within one season. You got
Right.
off to such a tremendous start, very competitive games, had a early win streak,
Mhm.
and then, for lack of a better word, injuries, circumstances, a lot of things happened to you. I remember a couple of games, you only had seven players dressing out and playing college basketball. Well, playing basketball, period, with just seven,
Yes.
let alone at the level at which you guys play, is tough. So just kind of give us a quick reflection on last season.
Last season was a pretty good start. We were off to 11-0, had a team of 12, and then after that 12, things started to dwindle a little bit, and I was down to 9 players at one point. But I think you said it best. The wheels start to roll off a little bit when it was conference time. And when it's conference time, things are a little tighter, rotation is a little smaller. So you play your players that you know that can get the job done. And I had three key players on that team that were getting the job done. Actually, it was four. I lost my leading scorer, Mia Late. She was averaging 18 points. But at that time, she was also our leading turner. She was turning the ball over. I call her the turnover queen. And I can say that now jokingly because I used to say, look, you can score points, but you're giving away the basket too, the ball. So with that being said, I had 9 in rotation that I was playing consistently, and things that didn't go our way in the second half of the season due to injuries and different circumstances on and off the floor. So we try to sustain as much as we can.
All right. Speaking of last year's team, key player Mia Lake, and we're gonna come back to her.
Mhm.
But you also lost another two other key pieces to that rotation that you had from last year's team: India Searles, Lexia Bell White. How will
Okay.
they be missed this season, especially because they actually had eligibility remaining for you guys?
Well, Lexi Bell White was done. She was a
Okay.
JUCO transfer. I had her for 2 years. And Lexi, I was a little disappointed at the same rate. She was a transfer trying to understand the system, but I wanted her to make more three balls for us. India is definitely going to be missed because she was a shot blocker. She protected the rim for us. Um, she didn't think it was a good fit, so she moved on. And with that being said, with those 2 or 3 pieces being missed, I did have 3 players come back. Laquanza Glover was averaging a double-double. Latero Ransom was averaging right at a double-double. So, and my point guard, Shaquanza Brown, was just kind of being solid on both ends of the court, stealing, assist-wise, and giving points at the same time.
All right.
So, yeah, with that being said.
Before we get into those returning players, talk about Bia Lake. Scored I think she's finished number 5 in the modern era and in Edward Waters scoring. She can. I think I saw her go for 38 in the game when I was there in person. We know that she can play ball. She can score in bunches. You know,
Right.
she'll have 2 points at the end of the third quarter and wind up the game with 24. So let's talk
Right.
about her not only her scoring on the court, but her leadership will be missed out at this year.
Well, Mia's talent could not be taught. She just had a scoring ability that nobody can teach. She scored in bunches. I would go 1-4 flat for her all the time, and she would just put the ball in the bucket. So that scoring will be missed. Mia did a lot of great things for us, and I remember the game you're referring to, which she had 38 points. That was against Tougaloo. She did that twice this season versus the same team. So again, a player of that caliber, you do miss that type of scoring. But in my offense and in the offense that we run here, it's spread it. You know, I like double digits amongst my starting 5. Now the ball is spread it, and not everybody has to put the ball in the basket at a consistent basis, like 20 points a game, 12, 14, 15. I like to spread the offense. So everybody get a touch and everybody's contributing.
All right. Top players coming back. The Kwanzaa Glove. You guys call
Absolutely.
it Q.
Yes. Yeah, the Kwanzaa
Who
Glover is
is
definitely cute.
yeah. Who is a big in a guard's body, as I like to say,
Right.
which actually creates a mismatch for opposing teams. Shaquanza Brown, who, if you've never seen her play, is not only is she fast, but she's also quick. And anybody who
Yeah.
understands basketball knows there is a difference
Yes.
between fast and quick. And Laterra Ransom also. And all 3 of those are essentially local kids for you guys. 2 of them being from Jacksonville, 1 of them being from right down I-95 in Daytona. Talk about
Right.
those players, those key players coming back for you.
Well, first I want to say those 3 players are my big 3. They are the captains this season. LaQuanza Glover, Shaquanza Brown, and Laterra Ransom. They will lead the team on and off the floor this year. With that being said, as you know, LaQuanza Glover, out of 29 games last year, she had 20 double-doubles. We are expecting the same thing. She averaged 14 points and right at 13 rebounds per game. So, you know, Q knows that she's going to be utilized as a guard and a forward. She's ready for the challenge. Another thing about Q, she lost her father this past off season. Very challenging. Her father was her biggest fan, and we will all miss him. I would love to hear, "Come on, LaQuanza," in the background. That even inspires me to coach her a little harder and coach up the team. So he would be sorely missed. So Q is going to play for a lot of reasons this season, and play harder on the court for her father. As far as Shaquanza Brown, you said it. She's quick and she's fast. And there's a difference. She's my floor general. She understands the system a little bit more. She understands what I want offensively, up-tempo, defensively, up-tempo. So she's being utilized on both sides of the ball, and she just brings that leadership every day. Great deal of energy. As far as Laterra Ransom, long, lanky, uses her frame, uses her length, great rebounder. She wants to put the ball in the bucket as well, so she can stretch the defense by shooting the 3 ball for us. I've asked her to do a little bit more scoring from the outside, and she's up for the challenge. So again, that's my big 3. I'm relying heavily on them, and we'll see what this season prevails.
All right. One thing that's going to be key for you, especially the style that you like to play, because you like to press, you like to run. You know, if you score 80 points in the game, you feel like you didn't score enough, because I know you like to get 90, closer to 100 if you can. The key thing for you is going to be depth. And you brought in some new players this year, hopefully that will contribute some minutes and help you with that depth. And please forgive me if I get some names wrong.
Okay.
Tyra Blair, Molly Raggle,
Right.
and help me out with Miss Hutchinson's first name.
Tiana Hutchinson.
Tiana.
Tiana.
Okay, Tiana Hutchinson. Talk about what they're going to be bringing to the table for the orange and purple this year, and any other key players that we need to look forward to as we come in
Okay.
this year.
All right. I'll speak briefly on the three that you just mentioned. I want to start with Molly Ragle. It's like Bagel Ragle. That's how I get her last name right. But she's a JUCO transfer from St. Petersburg, and again, I brought in her to be an impact player right away to help with this 8 to 9 man rotation that I've been having over the last few years. But I want impactful rotation. She would bring up the defense, and she can shoot the three ball well. Tiana Hutchinson, another JUCO transfer from Gulf State College. As you know, that's in the Panhandle, and they breathe Division I players. She's going to be another player that I'm going to put in a position where she can put the ball in the basket and take some of Mia points. She has the right frame for it. She has the ability. She has the talent. So I'm expecting her to understand right away what we're expecting so we can spread that ball. Tara Blair is a freshman from First Coast High School. She's small. She's smaller than Shaquaza, as a matter of fact. So we want to use her speed and quickness in the pressing. And I think it's going to take her a couple of years to understand the system, but once she gets it, she got it. Two players you did not mention is, Amani Dockery from New York. She's a 6'3" post player. She's a transfer from Clarion University, which is Division II. So along with the Q, with the LT, which is Latera Ransom and Shaquanza Brown, I wanted to bring in height, and I brought in two 6'3" post players. All right, so that's Amani Dockery, and the next player is Amari Bell, transfers from Stetson University. Again, bringing in more size, and so we can dump the ball in, so they can kick it out. So we can open up outside shooting. So I brought in those two 6'3" post players for more depth as well. There's a couple of other players that you didn't mention, and they're local kids. Tiara, I want to say her name, Tarella Cox, Mandarin High School. Then you have, what else do I have? Whitney Sapp from Miami. And there's one more, Shekinah Lester from Rains High School. So we're fully stocked, 14 players on. This is the largest I've had in a while. I usually try to keep it 12 to 14, but 14 right now is pretty much my largest team right now. I got depth, I got quickness, I got size, I have talent. We just want to have a good blend for the season.
How important is it for you to keep that talent at home? I noticed a couple of those Jacksonville schools that I'm familiar with that you mentioned, and other kids from the state of Florida. Post-pandemic, obviously, when those fans can get there. So, how important is it for you to try to keep, a good crop of local talent for you?
Well, it's important because you don't want that talent to leave your back door, especially when they can help our size of a school. We're in position, hopefully, to transition to NCAA Division II. So I want some of that local talent here so we can have the community involved and come in and support us. So it's been very important. Latera Ransom and Q were a big part of that. About 4 years ago, they came in and they were impactful players, and they brought a great crowd to our games. So it's important.
All right. Tournament this year, GCAC tournament, if everything goes right and we finish the season, will be hosted in your backyard, right there at the Adams Jenkins Center. Last time the tournament was held in Jacksonville, made it to the championship game, lost the nail biter. Don't want to bring up any bad memories, but lost the nail. So what will it mean for you to get that opportunity to host that tournament again and hopefully finish it this time at home?
All right. So yes, you did mention it brought up some bad memories. Actually, a tough memory, not bad, because anytime a lot of teams don't even make it to the finals game. So to be in the opportunity, not once but twice, I'm grateful for the opportunity. God willing, this season, if the season prevails, we want to take care of our home court advantage. I've shared it from day one when preseason started. Listen, the GCAC tournament is here. We have all season to get this thing right. We got to take care of the things that we can control. In home games, we have that advantage. When half on the road, all of our home games, we're in the thick of things. That's always been my equation. However, when the tournament comes, is a new season, and we have to have that armor on our back when we want to cover home. So I'm looking forward to it, but it's under God's will whether we get there.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get you out of this on this one, Coach. Any final thoughts you want to get out? Any questions I didn't ask that you want to send out to the people? Anything you want to say to your alumni, your fans? The floor is yours, Coach.
Actually, I just want to say, come support the Lady Tigers, whether it's at the gym or online. Hopefully, every game will be live streamed. We're looking for all the support. And when it is open back up, we would love to have you support the Lady Tigers. We're looking to do great things this year. And I want everybody to stay safe. Thank you.
All right. If I got any more 6'3", 6'4" post players that you how do we get in touch with you? B, how do we follow the Lady Tigers on the internet and on social media also? And last one, where do we send a check if we really want to support the Lady Tigers?
Well, we want to send a check to Edward Waters College Athletics Department, and Ms. Smith will be the person in charge of receiving those items. However, you can follow the women's basketball team and every other team in athletics, ewctigerpride.com. Again, thank you, AD. Hope I answered your questions. Feel free to call me anytime.
Yeah. Well, you know, I never tell you good luck, Coach. I would tell you to continue to work hard. And if you work hard, good results will come to you.
Yes, sir. I'll take
that. Coach Charmaine Wilson, women's head basketball coach at Edward Waters College, the Lady Tigers of EWC. We thank you and hope you join us next time as we talk to more coaches in our preseason basketball preview.
Support the Black College Sports Network so we can continue to provide you coverage. Go to myjbn.com/support and be a part of the Black College Sports
Tell everybody
Network.
they can follow their dreams.
Was hurting, but I done bandaged her up. Now I got too sick with it. Now we done found us an abrupt sound. Look, I be tearing the speakers up and we shaking the whole ground. Found pros in this profession, we calling that profound. Studio in every city, I'm calling that yo town. Some of these words that I'm using make me wanna throw down, but I got humbled in my veins and learned to tone it down. Major league when I'm pitching, I'm needing the pitchers, man. Shake the room with my powers and knocking the pitches down. Trying to teach you business first and put your pitches down. Major.